Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, April 26th, 2021, so already almost a third of the way through the year. This year is going by rather fast, actually. So, this will have covered the week of April 19th through the 25th of 2021, and I gotta say that this is one of my most productive weeks in any recent memory, especially like within the last year or so, because I made progress on a total of 6 different games. Now, I will say, still have not done anything on the division yet. Still, I want to, but I just don't know when it's ever going to happen, if at all. So, whoever has reached out to me previously, it just, I guess, didn't come at quite the right time, or I might not have seen it exactly, just because I was so busy working on these other games, so I sort of put that away for a little while. But if anyone is willing to carry me through survival mode, I got to escape quite a few more times, I think. So if anyone would be willing to help me and carry me through that, let me know. And this time I will be more attentive to it because I basically finished off a couple of older games this past week. So, the first game I earned trophies on, Uncharted 4. Yeah, this came out of absolutely nowhere. And it happened on 4/20, so I guess that was Tuesday. So this came out of absolutely nowhere. I got messaged by Fallen One recently, like it was last trophy update, and he basically said, hey, I know a group that can really help you with survival. They can carry you through it in a couple of hours. So I messaged them, got in with the group, and Ghost did the same thing a few days later. And yeah, he was extremely accurate on that because we did the entire thing in about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. I don't really remember. I think it was like 2 hours of just playing the maps on Crushing. So if you don't know how this DLC works, it's 10 survival mode maps, and the first 10 trophies are easy. You just have to complete the 10 maps on any difficulty. None of those are going to cause any real difficulty. As you can see, I earned all the trophies in one day for that, so not difficult at all. Actually, I did them all in less than 3 hours on my first run, so that's all the time it's going to take you to beat them for the first time. Nothing really to worry about there. The difficulty comes from these last 2 trophies where you have to earn 3 stars to get both these trophies. 3 stars on all 10 stages on Crushing difficulty. That is difficult. That is a massive step up, and it's something that Naughty Dog does in a lot of games, you might notice. If you look at Naughty Dog's history, generally their platinum trophies aren't too terribly difficult. I don't think any of their platinum trophies are above a 5 out of 10. But every single one that has DLC, the DLC turns out to be worse than the main game in terms of difficulty and time. Because, you have all the Uncharted remasters with the brutal mode that you have to beat, as well as the speed runs. You have Uncharted 4 with the survival mode, though at least 10 out of the 12 trophies are easy this time. Uncharted 2 and 3 have absurd amounts of multiplayer you have to do. Fight for Fortune, a lot of people actually will say that DLC is harder than the base game. I found it to be about the same, or maybe even a little easier, but I might have just gotten lucky. The Last of Us Part 1, it has grounded mode added in DLC, as well as the multiplayer stuff, which you pretty much had to boost from day one, especially the PS3 version. Last of Us Part 2, Platinum Trophy is extremely easy, and now you have to beat it on grounded mode and beat permadeath mode. So yeah, Naughty Dog does this a lot. They do it with virtually every game. They release relatively easy Platinums, and then come out with much more difficult and time-consuming DLCs. And that's what they did here. Now, this DLC is less difficult than it is built to be heavily influenced by microtransactions, by buying like power-ups and weapons and stuff. I'm not entirely sure what you would need to buy if you really wanted to speed this up. But the group I was doing it with, they were, level 50s. They had all of the, level 5 weapons. Because basically, to get to the point that you would be able to do all of the survival stages on Crushing, you have to basically keep replaying the levels to get the upgraded weapons. So, keep replaying levels on lower difficulties, the boss levels specifically. So, waves 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, or stages 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Just keep replaying them for hours and hours to earn extra weapons and get weapons upgrades and stuff, and that's how you're going to stand any real chance of beating all the boss waves. Though that's actually not 1000% true, because there are glitch methods you can use to kill the bosses rather easily, and that's actually what we were doing. They're not foolproof, they won't work every single time, but it's by far the easiest way to deal with it. So when it comes to all these stages, you have to do, like, on each stage there's 5 waves of enemies, and to get 3 stars it's purely based on time. So you have to complete the map in a certain amount of time. And for the most part, we didn't even fail a single one. Like, we wiped a number of times on boss fights, but we never actually had to replay a level to get all 3 stars. So we did it first try on every level, which was really nice. You're basically going to have standard enemy waves, you're going to have siege waves where you have to get kills from a specific part of the map, you're going to have boss waves on stages 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. These are the boss fights that give you the upgraded weapons that are pretty difficult to kill for the most part, even if you are using the little, like, exploit. It has something to do with getting on his back and doing, like, a stealth melee kill, but I'm not entirely sure how it works because I was usually just the one distracting the boss a little bit in these rounds. And you don't even need to be that high of a level if you're getting carried. If you have 2 people that really know what they're doing, you can pretty much get carried through this without a whole lot of difficulty. I mean, I held my own at times. I got a good number of kills. I did some revives. I bought some items to help people revive. Also, you want to jump off the stage after every wave because that'll refill all your ammo so you don't have to waste money on it. But it's really just a time-based thing. You have to get through the maps as quickly as possible and try not to die too many times. But in the end, like I said, it turned out getting carried made it a lot easier. And I will say that this would not have been a fun thing to do otherwise. If you had to do it legitimately, it would have been awful. So huge shout out to the group that helped carry me through this. That was a very nice thing to do, and it was very helpful. It saved me a lot of time and headache for the future. So with that, all of the Uncharted games have been platinumed. And the only one that isn't 100%ed is Uncharted 3, which I can go back and get a few more trophies in, but probably not many of them. And that's going to be a little ways down the line because that's not really important. So we can just go ahead and look back at the entire trophy list because I did come back to this game, so might as well look at all of it. So you had to complete the campaign in Crushing, which was very easy this time around because the cheats were actually built into the game, the tweaks to where you can use them after beating the game for your first time instead of beating it on certain high difficulties to unlock everything. So just beat the game once and then you can beat it again on the highest difficulty while using all of the tweaks. So I had already done it in moderate, so my first playthrough of the game was on moderate, and then I did it on Crushing. Then you have this one, the speed run. This one, I don't know if it's still, because I would have, okay, so I did this one through an exploit that used to exist. Like, if you played the game early on and were to delete your patches for the game, there was basically a way to do this where you just had to complete the game, and then you could just, like, load up specific chapters and speedrun it or something. It was some kind of weird method. I think it still exists if you delete the patches for the game, though, so I would recommend doing that, even though it's really not that hard. 6 hours is pretty generous. You can beat it in under 5 if you're relatively fast and play on the easiest difficulty. Then you have to find all of the collectibles, the treasures, the strange relics, the journal entries, the journal notes. So quite a few collectibles were in this game. You have to get kills with headshots, kills from a rope, kills with stealth, vertical stealth takedowns, hip fire, blind fire, 10 enemies in a row between gunplay and hand-to-hand combat, nothing too bad there, 100 kill streak, 70% or higher shot accuracy for the entirety of the game. Now, I actually did this on my Crushing playthrough using the tweaks, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, it's a pretty rare trophy, but it's really not too bad. Then you just have a bunch of miscellaneous trophies. Some are stealth-based, some are just other kinds of things. This game was a relatively easy platinum trophy. The game's a little bit longer than some, but the game is pretty easy overall. Like, there's not a whole lot of difficult areas to it. Just, you have to be just slightly decent at the game, just beat it the first time on an easy difficulty to learn it and get all the miscellaneous trophies and collectibles and enjoy the game. Then play through it a second time on Crushing, and then a third time as needed for the speed run and the accuracy trophy, and that's a good way to get through it. But I mean, it's a very fun game. It was a fantastic game overall. It's definitely one that should be played, especially for fans of Naughty Dog and fans of this kind of a game and the Uncharted franchise. Also, there are optional conversations. These are collectibles. I don't think they're as buggy, though, as they were in The Last of Us. And, of course, this trophy right here is based off of something that happened at E3 when they were talking about this game, and it was hilarious, and it's kind of awesome that they brought that in as a trophy. So then, as we go through all of this, we then get to the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is still possible, but you're probably going to have to boost some of it at this point. So the introduction is not a problem, and the 5 matches is not a problem, so neither of those are going to give you any real issues. And the trials on moderate difficulty in multiplayer, I don't remember that being that difficult. It looks like I did it pretty early on, so maybe a couple hours there, so that probably wasn't too hard. So you still have to spawn 10 sidekicks and revive 10 allies, which are both going to be a little bit more difficult nowadays, just with the servers being kind of dead. I did all of these in one day, as you can see, in like a 4-hour period. So back when the game first came out, they were very easy. Nowadays, though, you're probably going to have to boost some of this, so just keep that one in mind. So, next up, we had another game with the name Uncharted, but it's a completely different game. It is an Artifacts Monday game. It's been quite a while since I've done an Artifacts Monday game, and I actually think I did this, or no, which day? I had done most of it the day we did Uncharted, but in the end, I wanted to finish the actual Uncharted first, and that came up first. I got very close to finishing this, but had to finish off the rest of it the next day to record the trophy video. So for this game, quite a few of these first few trophies, pretty much everything through this one is going to unlock through natural story progression. They're not in order, but you simply have to complete most of the story to do this. Now, you actually only have to complete about 95% of the story to get all of the story-related trophies. This is actually one of the fastest and easiest of the Artifacts Monday games because you don't even have to complete the game, you don't have to do the bonus chapter, and you can play the entire thing on casual difficulty. So yeah, you don't even have to beat this one on expert, which is pretty awesome. They're making their games even easier. I guess they just gotta try to keep up with Ratalaika somehow. I mean, at least these games are actually good, usually, and actually usually pretty fun to play. So as for your missable and miscellaneous trophies, you have to complete 3 total mini-games without skipping them, nothing difficult there. This includes you have to win both of the games against the Pirates without using skip, but I think you can replay them infinitely as long as you don't use skip, even if you do lose, so I don't think it's that big a deal. This one's pretty early in the game. This one you are going to want to make a backup save before attempting it, just in case you do manage to make a mistake. I mean, most players get it, they get this far in the game, but just to be safe, you may want to make a backup save. You may want to do it before this trophy as well. Then there are 32 collectibles, and look at that, we got one of those fantastic times where the trophy image isn't there. I love it when that happens. So you have to find 32 collectibles. They're very easy to find with a guide. I highly recommend following like the PlayStationTrophies.org guide for this game. That is the easiest way to get through it. Then you have to finish a hidden object puzzle without making a mistake. This is relatively easy overall, though not all of the hidden object puzzles in this game are set every time you play them. So I did it on the one in this image. It was in the earlier half of the game, it was like you had to find smelly things and something else. Just don't make any mistakes. As long as you make a backup save before it, if you do manage to miss it, then you're going to be good to go. 3 hidden object puzzles without using a hint, no problem whatsoever. Plus, there's more than 3 hidden object puzzles and mini-games throughout the game. Then you have to finish any hidden object puzzle in under 30 seconds, which is pretty much unmissable on casual because you can just spam click everything. And finally, this one, I think this is actually a story-related trophy, and if it is, I don't really know why it's so far down on the list, separate from all the others. I think it's a story-related trophy, but it's kind of weird if it is to be that separate. So nothing else really to say about that. It's an extremely quick and easy Artifacts Monday game. This one will take you no more than 3 hours, so it's very short and it's extremely easy if you follow a guide. So nothing much more to say about that. I like the Artifacts Monday games. They're better than a lot of the games out there that are quick and easy platinums. They actually take some effort to play, and they definitely take some effort to make, even though they do reuse a lot of the puzzles and elements between them, which I don't blame them. They're probably a small studio, so it makes sense. Then, for Platinum number 498, we did, because Uncharted tied Port Royal, that was number 497. Number 498 was the World of Nubla. So this is the final stack of this game. There are 4 stacks of it. There used to be 2 that were called just Nubla and 2 that were called the World of Nubla, but now for some reason they're all just called the World of Nubla, I believe, which is really weird and confusing. So now I've done all 4 of them, both North American and both European versions. This game is an extremely easy platinum trophy. This is actually one of the sort of OG quick, easy platinum trophies on the PS4, because this one's been around since like 2016 or so. It's definitely one of the older ones. You can get the platinum in about 45 minutes. Actually, you can do it in well under that. You can do it in like half an hour if you know what you're doing and can run through it quickly. So basically, your platinum trophy is going to come down to finding a bunch of collectibles throughout the game. Some of them are a little bit well hidden, but most of them really aren't. Like, as long as you follow a guide, I actually followed a little throwback right here, Stay Patient's guide. That is a definite throwback to his channel. So I followed his guide for it, but I'm sure that there are others. I think Bad Driver has a guide. There's probably text guides out there. I want to say that Brian at PS5 Trophies has a guide probably as well. PowerPix, I don't know if PowerPix actually has one because I don't think he usually does full gameplay guides of quick, easy platinums. And then other than that, you have some story-related trophies. I believe all of these are story-related. Like all of these gold trophies are story-related. I could be wrong about that, but I think all of them are going to be story-related trophies, so you're going to be popping lots of trophies very quickly. Like I said, if you follow a guide and know what you're doing, you can get the platinum in 30 minutes. It's not going to cause you much of a problem. There's not too much more to say about it. Like I said, though, it is one of the OG quick and easy platinum trophies out there. Next up, Destiny. We got that platinum for number 499. It would not have been a bad 500th platinum, but given that I've been saying that Far Cry 2 would be the number 500 for so long, I'm saving Far Cry 2, obviously, for that point. So hopefully I can get it within the next few weeks before I run out of pre-recorded trophy videos. So Destiny, it's not that hard of a platinum trophy anymore, just because there's a lot of people that are still willing to help with the raids, because really the most difficult parts are there's some time-consuming stuff. You're going to have to boost the multiplayer stuff, so the Crucible, and then of course there's, you know, Flawless Raider and just the raids in general. They require multiple people that sort of know what they're doing. But if you get carried, they're not really much of a problem anymore. And honestly, Crota's raid is pretty simple. It's short. The mechanics are pretty easy to learn. So as long as everyone can play somewhat competently, you shouldn't have much of a problem. So the trophies I actually earned to complete this platinum, I earned, I believe, 2 of them. I finished off, come on, where are they? The Warlock subclass, I finished that one off, so that one just took a while. You know, I basically started doing the daily quests. That actually was a really easy way to do it, just doing like daily bounties, a few of them a day. And that leveled me up pretty quickly, as well as doing some story missions and some Arkan's Forge stuff with Ghost while we were working on the Iron Lord artifacts, which is my last remaining trophy. The artifact I needed was not there this week, so unfortunately I'm still not done yet. Hopefully it will be there this week and I will be able to get that sweet, juicy, sexy 100% for Destiny and Destiny 2. And I mean, I'll still need to do Destiny 2 on the PS5, but that auto pops, which is awesome. And my final trophy for 50 was discovering the dead, or not 50, I don't know why I said 50, but my final trophy was to discover the 50 dead ghosts, or 50 of the dead ghosts. They're well over 100, and a huge chunk of them are actually in the Crucible. You can get like 30 to 40 of them just in the Crucible. So as long as you just follow guides for each of them, you shouldn't have a problem. The Crucible ones are all extremely easy. You can do them in private matches. Then there's a lot of easy ones to find just by roaming around the world, so it's not a difficult trophy at all. It takes a couple of hours, most likely, to grind through, and like I said, I saved it for last just because it was a safe final trophy to do, because it was easy and I could plan to make sure I knew when it was going to unlock. So otherwise, Taken King is obviously done. It's been done. Rise of Iron, missing 1 artifact. Hopefully it pops up this week so I can go ahead and finish it off. I have the item needed to trade for an artifact, so I don't even need to do any quests. Just need to log in and see if my artifact is there. I think Ghost has 1 artifact left, but we have different ones, so we'll see who gets it done first. Next up, we have Far Cry 2 continuing to make some progress in this game. So let's see, which trophies did I earn in the past week? Subvert a mission. There are 12 missions you have to subvert, 6 in each territory, and I have subverted 1 so far because I've really only done 1 story mission after the tutorial area, because I've been working all the miscellaneous stuff first. So finding all the safe houses in the Northern Territory, I did that. I found all the Jackal logs and turned them into the Journalist in the Northern area. Those 2 trophies were already done. So out of the remaining trophies that we see here, this one is unmissable. That's story related. This is the Diamond trophy, the particularly brutal trophy in the game. There's like 1,000 diamonds total, and there's well over 200 that you actually have to go out and find. But I found everything and done everything missable in the north aside from subverting the missions, so that's all I have left. I found all the buddies and everything. This is a Southern Territory trophy, finding all of the safe houses down there. So basically I'm going to go down there eventually and do the exact same thing I did in the north. Yay! All the underground side quests, there's either 5 or 7. One guide says there's 5 and the other guide says there's 7. Like, I think it said that it's agreed upon that there's 3 in the north and there's either 2 or 4 in the south. So I don't know exactly how true which one's correct. But the funny thing is, like, even though that's how you get more malaria pills, you actually don't really need to do it if you're just wandering around the world, because you actually have an infinite supply of pills until you start doing the story missions, and then just the underground missions pop up along the way to give you more pills. But while you're just going out exploring, you don't actually need more because they're infinite, which makes the game a lot easier than I thought it would be. Plus, if you're playing on the easiest difficulty, it's not really that hard of a game. It takes some getting used to, and there are some very weird design choices and stuff, but it's fun. Again, I'll say it once again, this game is really, really fun. I am enjoying this way more than I thought I would. Then you have to do a story-related trophy here. Purchase everything for one weapon is going to come naturally because you have to do it for every weapon. This is a unmissable story-related trophy since you have to do all the underground quests anyway to get medicine. Then this is another story-related trophy. I already did the buddy side quest. I've done like 3 of them, but I'm not going to do any more of the buddy side quests, even though it'd be kind of cool to show the game at 100% completion overall in the menu. I don't really want to do that purely because the buddy side quests are a way to break a glitch that can happen in the game with progress. So I don't want to do all of the buddy missions and then have that glitch come up and screw me over. It has something to do with the game getting locked at 27% completion. There's another one at 80-something%. I think that it has to do mostly with using the bus, and I have not used the bus once and will not use the bus once. So I think if I don't use it, I don't think I have to worry about the glitch. But you also want to make sure you have plenty of saves and just be very careful with that. So I'm going to save some buddy quests because there is like a workaround to do with those. Look at every location. That's you're going to get this one while going for all the collectibles. This one, there are 8 more. They're all in the south, so that's something I can't really do yet. Purchasing everything for every weapon, already talked about that. You've got 2 story-related trophies here, I believe. I don't think you can miss those. There's 4 more convoys in the south. That's a story-related trophy, as is this one. This one is all the buddies. I found all 6 in the north. There's 5 in the south. Subverting all the missions, already talked about that. The assassination missions, there's 6 more. They're all in the south. And then these 2 trophies are both story-related. So I'm making good progress, even though the story missions... I mean, my in-game completion is only like 8%, but I've done like all the missable and collectible stuff in the north, so it's really just story missions and subverting story missions for the next few hours of gameplay until I can get to the south and have to basically start everything over again, relearn the map and everything. And finally, I made some progress on Battlefield 5. So, currently I've completed the first war story, Under No Flag. I'm gonna say, and I did it on hardcore, by the way, because you have to do all 3 of them on hardcore to earn these 3 trophies. You'll get the other 2 for lower difficulties, but you have to do them all on hardcore to unlock all the trophies. I gotta say, this campaign is some of the worst that I've ever seen in a first-person shooter for its hardest difficulty. It's broken, it's not fun, it's not well made, it has a lot of problems. I mean, it's basically when you're in this campaign on the hardest difficulty, you die in like 2 hits. The enemies will like never let go of where they saw you at. They'll chase you halfway across the map, but they'll kill you almost instantly. You'll take like 3 sniper shots to kill them, which is kind of ridiculous unless you shoot them in the head. The alarms never seem to stop working properly, and just, it's a mess of a single player. It's just not well made overall. I mean, there's not really much more to say about it. It's just not a fun experience or a well-designed experience overall. It feels like it was very heavily tacked on at the last second. And obviously, Battlefield isn't necessarily known for their stories. It's like expecting every Call of Duty game to have a great story, but I do expect it to at least play reasonably well, and this one really doesn't. Plus, there's not a lot of checkpoints. Thankfully, you don't have to do any of the challenges or collectibles. I might go back and do some of the challenges and collectibles on the easiest difficulty at some point just for fun. But I mean, this first mission was painfully annoying already, and then there's still 2 more of them, and I think that one of them's really long, so that's just great. I am not looking forward to that. As for the multiplayer, progress is being made. The only multiplayer trophies I got, did I get 1 or 2? I got 2. So I reached 150,000 total score. I'll give you guys an update on the scores in a moment. And I got my 5 road kills, which is pretty easy, but you could easily boost it as well. So we're going to have 2 trophies that need to be boosted. The capturing 10 flags in front lines, purely because the mode is dead. It's not hard, the mode's dead. There's no way you're going to do it, most likely, unless you are playing it in a community game, just because no one plays it. So that's the only reason you have to boost that one. It would have been easy back when the game came out. Then you have to destroy 5-man stationary weapons with an airplane. I still need to learn how to pilot an airplane, and then we're going to boost that one because everyone boosted that one, because there was no real way to do it otherwise. And then as for scores overall, let me go ahead and pull up my little notes here. So currently I need 63,000 more score as recon, 56,000 more as assault, 66,000 more as a medic, and 49,000 more as support. Wait, did I say 56,000 assault and 49,000 left for support? Okay. Around 336,000 total points left. Now, a lot of people have said that these trophies are glitchy. Like, all of these ranking score-based trophies can be glitchy. But supposedly that has been fixed as of patches from earlier in 2020, and it better have been fixed, because I know that they're not really supporting the game anymore, and I don't really want to have to go the whole idea of a Better Business Bureau route like we did for Call of Duty back a few years ago. I'm going to hope that they work, because, I mean, a lot of players do get these trophies very clearly, so I hope that they work. I just don't want to have to play this game for longer than I need to get the trophies, because I'm just not enjoying it. Like, I thought it would at least be kind of fun being a Battlefield game and being set in World War II, but it's just not. It is not as good as, like, Battlefield 1, and is nowhere near as good as the earlier Battlefield games. Hopefully Battlefield 6 is better, is all I can really say, but I will continue working on that. So, let's sync up our trophies. At this point, we are a level 720, 70%, 20,270 total trophies, 499 platinums, 2,907 golds, 5,437 silvers, 11,427 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. Hopefully going to finish off Destiny 1. Hopefully going to make some good progress on Battlefield 5. I think we're going to try to boost it later this week once we can get a time that works for everyone in the group. I mean, it's only like 4 people, so it's not terrible. It's still just there, though. I'll continue working on Far Cry 2. I should be able to finish off most of the northern region by the end of this week. Hopefully all of it. We'll have to see how busy I get with work. Because, I mean, I work overtime some days. I have a dentist appointment on Tuesday, which sucks. I never find that to be enjoyable. And maybe I'll even have the chance to get started on the Division, but I'm probably not because, I mean, I really don't want to do it, even though I know I have to. Because it's an older game, and it's only 1 trophy. I'd like to get it done someday. I also need to play the Resident Evil 8 demo at some point. I don't know if I'll play it on a stream. I might actually play that on a stream on Friday of this coming week or something. That might be the best way to do it. Just to start the stream out with that, or it'll probably be a shorter stream because I'm going to be working on Saturday again. I know I said I didn't really want to do that, but money's good, so gotta do what you gotta do. So I don't really know what schedule is going to look like during the main part of this week. We'll have to see which days I can upload on time and stuff, and which days it might be later and otherwise. I don't really know where I'm staying with that. I am kind of tired. It's getting a little bit later. So we'll see what happens with all of that later this week. So streaming for this weekend, Friday night stream will probably be a little bit on normal. Will be a little bit more normal. Probably won't do too much that day. For streaming, it'll probably be something fairly simple, not too much content overall. Whereas Saturday should be a pretty normal stream. And then finally, I guess I can give a little update on where my trophy plans currently sit. For the rest of April, the goal is to work on the Division, Destiny 1, Far Cry 2, and Battlefield 5. Not saying that some of those are going to get done, as well as that Resident Evil 8 demo. In May, we will continue on whatever doesn't get finished this month, as well as Resident Evil 7. Need to go back and knock that out in probably a weekend. I could probably knock it out. In June, Black Ops 3. That's going to take probably more than a month, but that's the plan. And then in July, finish it off with some GTA 5 for online stuff. At least I'll get the normal stuff done, like the normal heist, everything except for the 2 Doomsday Heist, Criminal Mastermind, and Elite Challenge trophies. I just don't see those happening. And then throughout the remainder of the year, I would go back and finish COD Classic, Outer Worlds, Borderlands 3's DLCs, Shadow of the Colossus on PS3, Uncharted 3's remaining few miscellaneous trophies I might be able to get. I need to look more into that though. And of course, I got to start the Division 2 and Battlefield 4 at some point. I mean, I bought them already, so I got to do them at some point and, do the series is. So that's going to be 2 more big online boosts, but those are the only other 2 multiplayer games I plan on starting anytime soon. Won't be doing any easy platinum games anytime soon, not until Far Cry 2 is done, though I think once Far Cry 2 is done, there's a good chance you might see me just power through a huge number of platinum trophies quickly and get to 550 within like a few weeks. I could very much see that happening. Just to clear out my backlog a little bit and up those numbers a little bit, get me a little bit higher on the leaderboards, maybe back even into like the top 1,000, you never know. I will also say, though, that May is going to be kind of an inconsistent month when it comes to streams and even at times videos, because this coming weekend I'll be working on Saturday, most likely. The weekend after is Mother's Day weekend, so either I'll be going home or my family will be coming here for a couple of nights, because the food's better here. So I won't probably be able to stream then. I'll probably be busy then. Then the weekend after that would be normal. That's like the middle of May. Then the 4th weekend of May, I'm planning on going home because Lizard Guy is going to be home. So I'm going to take a long weekend there and go home and hang out with him. And we'll probably record some stuff. We won't be able to stream because the internet's not good enough at home, but we will definitely try to record some stuff. And then the very last weekend of the month, going into the beginning of June, I'm going to be on vacation, completely away from all the technology stuff, but more on that later in the month. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you watched all the way here, please give a like, favorite, share, comment. Let me know what you've been working on this past week. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already. We finally managed to get another 30-minute long video. It's been a while since we've done that, and I will see you guys later this week for more content.